You say quickly? Were you close to the suspect? As I just said, I was only 30 feet away from her the whole time. Oh, yes, press her, because actually she's in side B, where the murder was in side A. I'd like to see this on the floor plans, just to be safe. Lunchland car was... She was visitor, thus she was parked in B block. So you witnessed the murder from here? That would make it about 30 feet from the car, yes. Is that correct, Miss Starr? Yes, that's right. But there was a chain link fence in front of you. I went over it, of course. Amazing! The cough-up queen, lunch lady athlete indeed. It would have taken her a little time to climb over the fence. So she couldn't have gotten to my sister that fast. Yeah, that fence was about 9 feet high too. How did Miss Skye not get away? Oh, right, so this is... So I meant to... I don't know. I'm scared. She mentioned the muffler. What exactly did she say? If I remembered exactly, I would have told you in my testimony. Anyway, all I heard her say was the word muffler. Just that one word? So, what you heard wasn't the suspect talking to you, but to someone else? Chief Prosecutor was talking on her phone. Her phone? She can't mean... Ask further. By phone, do you mean this cell phone discovered at the crime scene? Yes, ultimately. Ultimately. My memory... It's like a salmon heading upstream, you see. No, the court doesn't see, Miss Starr. Chief Prosecutor first attempted to use the phone hanging on the wall. On the wall? That's right. Near the car, there was an emergency phone on the wall. Apparently, it was out of order, so she used her cell phone. Indeed, the emergency phone was out of order that day. Good witnessing, witness? Good witnessing? Whatever happened to good testifying? You should, of course, add this to your testimony. Things I do to please this rookie defense attorney. Okay, so she said the word muffler. Saw it all, how she tried the phone on the wall but had to use her cell instead. Well, we'll press on that. Do you think you could restate your testimony for the court? Aha! I was going to ask the same thing. I'll only say this one time, so listen closely, rookies. Oh, sorry. The chief prosecutor stabbed the victim and ran behind the partition. She picked up the emergency phone on the wall, but it's out of order. So she pulled out her own cell phone out of her pocket. During that time, you climbed over the chain link fence. During that time, you climbed over the chain link fence. Then when I boldly grabbed her arm, chief prosecutor hung up her phone. And you saw her doing this? What is it, Mr. Wright? There's the partition in the way. Ah, okay. Right. So we present the floor plans. She couldn't have seen her try the phone. Start. I have to conclude that you have a personal grudge against Miss Lana Skye. The witness is a former detective. Her testimony is unmarred by personal bias. Who would have thought you would be my knight in shining armour, prosecutor? You who, together with the chief prosecutor, kicked me out 2 years ago. So she's got motive against both. So whether she says it's Lana Skye or, oh, Miles Edgeworth because it's the car and blah, 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 and the knife. Well, mister, it's a fatal contradiction with your testimony. How do you explain this? I don't know what you're talking about. Mess with me, and I'll make you cough it all up. Ahem. Let's look at the floor plans. You said you witnessed the crime from this point. However, if that's true, you couldn't have possibly seen Miss Skye making that phone call. I believe you see what I'm getting at. That emergency phone was on the back side of this partition. If indeed you were in B block, you couldn't have seen it. What? Order! Order! What is the meaning of this? It's simple, Your Honor. She's not coughing up lunch. She's coughing up lies. Grrr. That's quite a claim, Mr. Wright. Perhaps you will allow me a question. Tell us exactly what lie this witness has told the court. That she saw it. is where the counterattack begins. I can't afford to get this wrong. The witness lied about... ooh. Let's save so I don't die horribly. Oh, 1. Oh, I could have done that way. Oops. So, not the order of events. What she saw is obviously not true. She lied about what she saw. In other words, she didn't see Miss Sky using that emergency phone. It does seem hard to imagine how she could have. Very logical. What's the matter, Star? Cat got your lunchbox? Mr. Wright, hate to bother you while you're celebrating your victory. Why would Miss Star lie like that? Huh? But she must have lied about what she saw. I mean, it might be from a different angle, but that means she... Yep. She retried. I see no room for doubt here. You ordered the patooey on rice. Okay, right, we'll reload. Okay, so then it's where she saw it. Miss Sky tried to use the emergency phone, but it was out of order. What is significant about this fact? Nothing. Therefore, it'd be pointless for Miss Star to lie about it. Pointless to lie? I see. But say the witness did actually see Miss Sky using the emergency phone. It would mean Miss Star witnessed the crime from a different location. A different location? Now that's a pointless lie if ever I heard one. Before you call my lie pointless, at least let me tell it. What? Let me ask a question. Let me ask a question to our clever wordsmith, Mr. Wright. Just where was the witness when she saw the crime? All the testimony we've heard until now points in one direction. The place where Miss Star witnessed the crime was... I'm saying the security room because she was delivering the lunchbox, which is why she could see this, but it means she couldn't see the murder. So she lied about what she saw. Take that! This is the only place where she could have been. The security guard room? Indeed, the security room in the underground parking lot is well positioned. It's built on the second floor so you can see the entire lot. She would have been able to see the emergency phone from there. But why there? There are many other places where she could have seen the phone. Not in this case, Your Honor. The witness, not being part of the prosecutor's office, couldn't park in A block. The only place where she could have seen the crime and the back of the partition is here. I remember in your testimony you said you brought a lunch to your boyfriend in the security guard room. Yes. Well, Miss Star, how many years have I been getting the better of men? To think the tables could be turned. Today a man has got the better of Angel Star. Order! Order! Witness! What have you done? You used to be a detective. You should know better. I'm not turning back. The guilty will be punished. And I'll do what I must to make sure justice prevails. Guilty? Is she talking about Miss Sky? Mr. Wright, doesn't this strike you as odd? Why did Miss Star lie? It doesn't make sense. Huh? She could have just said she saw the crime from the security guard station. It wouldn't change anything. Exactly. This photograph tells all. It was the defendant who stabbed the victim. No. Because it still stands? I disagree, Mr. Edgeworth. Because that photograph must be from a different place. If it was taken on the same day. What? If a witness is found to be lying, they're guilty of perjury. She knows this. Okay, this is the first time perjury's been mentioned in this series. She wouldn't risk that without a good reason. So tell us what her reason was, Mr. Wright. Huh? Me? Who else? Mr. Wright, let's review what we know. Miss Star witnessed the crime from the security guard station. But she lied and said she saw it from B block. Must make a vital difference, but what? What would change? Distance to crime, difference in lighting, angle of view to the crime. She can't see who did it. Why, the angle at which she saw the crime occur would change. The angle? What do you mean? Well, the security guard station's on the second floor, and, she would have sort of a more 3D view of the crime. She can't see the face of who killed him! Oh my goodness. No, because that's right. She couldn't have seen who it was. Alright. Let's save so I don't die. Ugh. Ugh, I say. Difference to the crime or difference in lighting? Distance to the crime? Maybe distance? Distance, then. Change the distance between her and the crime scene. Okay, something's happening. My condolences, Mr. Wright. But one look at the floor plans, it's quite clear. Distance between... Oh. Okay. Oh, no. What she saw is not in question here. What matters is the time it would take her to reach the scene of the crime. Huh? Mustar, you witnessed the crime from the security guard station. How long did it take you to go from there to the scene of the crime, where you arrested Miss Skye? Well, witness? You... Yes? You ordered the squid wheels, right? Quality of my lunches has gone down from low to inedible. I was bringing a PB&J lunch with fresh boysenberry jam to my boyfriend. Boysenberry for the boyfriend. He wasn't in the station, so I waited. I witnessed the crime from the glass-walled station, took a photo that's impossible to take from that angle, and before I knew what I was doing, I found myself running towards the scene. But the door was locked. I couldn't open it. You had to go all the way around. Oh, wow. That's why I had to go through the visitors' parking in B block. That's quite a detour. It probably took me at least 5 minutes to get to the scene of the crime. 5 minutes? So you arrested someone who happened to be there 5 minutes later. This changes things considerably. But it was that woman over there in the defendant's chair who stabbed him. I know it. I have photographic evidence. So all you got was this picture. I swear it. I swear it on my finest plastic spork. The spork. You have a point. And the spork is a wonderful invention. Would you like another caviar lunch? Absolutely. How is this not bribing the judge? Uh-oh. Mr. Wright, you have to do something. Do you have any evidence that stops this? Raise an objection. Probably. 5 minutes between the witnessing of the murder and the arrest. Think about it. You could make pasta in that amount of time, if you like it al dente. I've got lunchboxes that tie pasta into knots, rookie. A 5-minute blank. Isn't that strange? Strange? If you were a criminal, what would you do with 5 minutes, Your Honor? Well, I guess I'd flee the scene. Hey! Don't get the wrong idea. I didn't kill anyone. But you have the instincts of a killer. You would run. But this time was different. Miss Skye dawdled at the scene of the crime. She even had a picture taken. No true criminal will act this way. It's inconceivable. Well then, it seems we've come to the end of this testimony. The witness has a grudge against the defendant, a blank in her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, is the next witness ready to go? Unfortunately, I appear to have overestimated this witness on account of her professional history. We did it. You screwed that can shut, Mr. What? Mr. Wright? That was too close. I'm afraid that the cough-up queen has been dethroned. And with that, court is adjourned. No. Mr. Edgeworth, you ordered the squid wheels, right? That's the one she tried to foist off on me. I prefer to not take the defense team's leftovers. Anything else to say? I might be able to save you. I have decisive evidence. Is this another one of her trick lunchboxes? My apologies, but we have no further questions to ask of you, Miss Starr. Ah. Is this your jumbo lunchbox? Woohoo! A triple-decker! Out of deference to the witness's determination, I'll allow one more testimony. Okay, that's definitely bribing the judge. Boo! Let's hear about this defense evidence. Like Lunchtime Matter says, you won't be disappointed. What are you going to pull out of a lunchbox this time? Let this end. I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. And now, it's the matter of the victim's shoe. Did I not bring this up? 2 types of blood were found on this shoe. How do you know this? One was, of course, the victim's, and the other blood type matched that of the defendant, Miss Lana Skye. This shoe proves it. It's flawless, decisive evidence. What? There was blood found on that shoe? Try Lunchland for all your lunch and decisive evidence needs. Witness, what's the meaning of this? Why is this the first time I've heard of this evidence? Simple. As I've already said, I've faked evidence. I don't trust you with evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. That's why I took the liberty of investigating this myself. Okay, so how do we know that you didn't put the blood there? And you had blood tests performed? Didn't I mention? I have 3 boyfriends in forensics. In any case, Your Honor, I can't accept this as evidence. What? You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. In other words, this shoe is illegal evidence, at least for the time being. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. Edgeworth sure is celebrating. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. I have a boyfriend in the police department. I used to be a detective. As I mentioned previously, this shoe has already been tested by a member of the forensics department. As you can see, it was approved by the police department as of today. Even the general public can produce official evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. Not in the middle of a court case, you can't. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. Edgeworth is looking pretty sullen. He could at least study some evidence law, really. The prosecution's complaints notwithstanding... There was a second complaint that he hadn't gotten to yet. It appears this evidence satisfies the first rule of evidence law. However, it seems you have yet another count against you, witness. Anything to ensure the guilty are properly judged. Victim's shoe added to the court record. Very well, Mr. Wright, you may cross it. What was the second thing? You can't be like, oh, there's 2 things in evidence law against this, and then only deal with one of them. Did not bring this up. You found the shoe at the scene of the crime. I detained the chief prosecutor and notified the police department. I wanted to make myself useful. I was waiting for the police to arrive. Like an ill-trained pooch, you snuck off with a shoe.